What's up, guys? We're back. I wanted to share a real quick idea, a little hunch I had today I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys can engage and share your insights and your ideas and whatever take you have on it. But as a lot of the individuals that I follow, a lot of influencers, a lot of authors, creators, and a lot of the time, a lot of the books, a lot of the sales, and a lot of the, I would say, strategies they give is, to stay true to your story. Share your story, be honest, be realistic with it, and I'm 100% with that. I feel like, I can tell you, I'm from New York, grew up in a low income neighborhood, first generation immigrant family, and sometimes our story is great to share because you want to inspire others and you want to motivate others. You want to share that anybody can do what they want to do as long as they're able to put in the work and not necessarily put in the work, but stay true to that dream, to that goal, to whatever it is, that vision they have of themselves. And everybody's vision is different, right? And you can go ahead and look back at certain athletes and I would say celebrities that we've obviously look especially in the U.S. that we kind of admire. I know for myself, I always follow and watch Dwayne Johnson, right, The Rock. Growing up, I was watching him. He was obviously a wrestler at that time, and at that time, I just followed him because of wrestling. Wrestling was a thing we watched on Monday nights, Sunday nights as well. But this was part of life. And now, growing up, you see him evolving. Now he became an actor. He became an entrepreneur, motivational as well. And he uses his story like as a motivational part of it, but he knows that it's not who he is. Like, our story is what we came from is part of our story. But I don't want us to think that sometimes because you're from a certain area, certain country, certain neighborhood, that you're destined for that forever. And sometimes, they say you can never take. There's a saying that they say you can get out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the individual. And I'm pretty sure, being from growing up in certain environments, you are a certain way, as I say. But I also think there's a choice in the way you react to certain things and the way you move upon life. Just because you have a certain environment where you have to be defensive, you might have to protect yourself. You're worried about the individuals because you don't might have that much trust because of maybe you've gotten in certain neighborhoods, you might get robbed, you might get attacked. Certain things that happen in certain neighborhoods that are dangerous. So your guards are up. Maybe you don't have less trust in people. Maybe you don't believe, you don't have faith in humanity. It's a lot of things that you lose when you grow up in certain environments. But at the same time, I feel that we can choose. There's certain times, obviously, that you are put in situations where you have no choice. But most of the time, I would say 99.9, you have a choice whether how you want to respond to certain things. And yes, growing up in certain environments, you have a certain mentality that you have built growing up, that obviously beliefs that you've been given to by your family, by your friends, by your environment itself. But doesn't mean that as you get older and you start to realize that it's mostly beliefs of others that are kind of imposed on you, then you feel like, okay, I grew up in that neighborhood, in that environment, but I can choose to act differently. I can choose to be an example. I can choose to act differently and be was that word? But there's a word for that. But be the exception. There you go. Sorry about that. But be the exception to the rule, as they call it. And growing up in certain neighborhoods, and any young guys that are watching, young people that watch me and follow me, just because you're living in a neighborhood right now that's a tough, environment, not too much hope, not too much faith, a lot of crime, a lot of things going on in the neighborhood, doesn't mean that your greatness is not with you. You have the greatness. We all have greatness. The greatness that we have and the gifts that we are given have nothing to do with our environment. They're within us. And you can go ahead and look up certain celebrities that we all follow nowadays. They grew up in worse conditions than we did, and they were able to, obviously through adversity and through staying persistent and consistent with all of their endeavors, they were able to exceed and meet their visions and goals that they have for themselves, and make opportunities for themselves as well along the way. And I can give you various examples. athletes, we got Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all these guys that we see, they grew up in certain situations that you think they would never make it out from. We got Oprah, obviously Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So these examples right there, that at the end of the day, wherever we start is not where we finish. Everything where we are right now is a temporary situation to our life. Everything is right now is just a temporary situation. So if you, for me, I know my mindset has always been that way. Like wherever I'm at, I'm not where I feel like I must be. I always told myself like, this is a temporary solution to the problem. That's it. And also, you know, obviously accepting it made me actually act differently as well. Made me be more grateful for it as well. But also understanding that wherever it is right now doesn't mean you're gonna be there forever. Like, and then that makes you also kind of enjoy it more, because you know that this is a moment that you're sharing an experience you're not gonna have again, because it's gonna eventually grow. You're gonna grow. We're all growing. But I just feel that sometimes when we grow up in certain neighborhoods, we kind of have that belief that this is all we are. This is what we have nothing to bring to the table, and you're gonna be kind of categorized for that in that neighborhood or in that country or wherever it is you're from. And that's all a lie. It's all BS. It's an illusion. It's where you're from has nothing to do with who you are and what you bring to the table and how you choose to bring your light, bring your energy, and impact others, and also be better for yourself and be better for others as well. But just be an example that wherever you're from doesn't really matter. So if by any chance you're feeling some type of way that wherever you're from is a tough, how you grew up and how you were raised has kind of molded you who you are today, and you have no, I would say, hope for change for yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and challenge you on that. I think it's up to you and us and myself to change that. You know, it's you, nobody else. And you can choose to act differently. You can choose to not react towards, you know, tests that people give you. They might disrespect you. They might steal from you. They might even try to hurt you. But you can choose, choose to see it a different way. Understand that everybody has their own problems. And most of the time, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal with you. It's always with themselves. Think about it. Most of our dreams, we all have dreams, and most of us don't really go after those dreams. So living a life where you feel like your dreams are dead and you have no hope kind of makes you change and think differently as well. So we have to have faith in ourselves, belief that wherever we're going is for us, and where we at to is where we're supposed to be. But have faith in the process. And also remember that all progress is never seen sometimes. Most of the time, a lot of progress, you don't see it. It's only, you know, if you think about it, Wayne Dyer also gives an example. He says when you go to, if you start planting tomatoes in your backyard, it takes a long time for the tomatoes to actually start growing, but you can never see the roots on the bottom. You would never see it. It's growing, but you don't see nothing on top of the ground itself. You don't see any type of progress. But beneath the soil, a lot of things are happening. So that's to be said for us as well. Internally, we have a lot of progress, a lot of growth, and sometimes the external environment might not be there yet, but doesn't mean that we're not growing. So again, love your story, embrace it, but understand it doesn't define who you are. All right. So again, thank you guys for following me, joining me here for this couple of minutes. Hope you guys have fun, and thank you for all the support. Peace.